So today we're going to look at mind as a powerhouse. And I want us to start with a quotation by Dr. James Doty, a neurosurgeon. He said that many of us are taught to spend our lives hoping for something outside of ourselves to fix our problems and make us whole. So many of us are hoping that something outside us would fix our problem, make us whole. Mm. He said himself, he thought that, there was a stern cosmic parent somewhere out there who is looking over the world and looking at what we are doing and taking action. We want to give you this and take this one away from you. He says, as a neuroscientist and a physician, that today that we have no proof of such a force. The neurosurgeon scientist said we don't have no proof of such a force or being who have a great deal of scientific evidence. So we have a great deal of scientific evidence of the power of our own minds to produce images in our lives that may at first appear impossible. I want us to understand what he's saying. He's saying that almost all of us are brought up to think that there is a force out there that detects everything for us. And depending on how we relate with that force, we will be favored. We will be given something or something else will be taken away from us. But Dr. David Doty, a world-class neurosurgeon that works with Dalai Lama, says there is no force like that. Then he defined manifestation as activity. He says manifestation is activity of the brain. But today we're going to look at mind as the powerhouse. And mind in our definition today, I want it to be the dialectical relationship between the brain, the heart, and the gut brain. Dialectical relationship between as the brain relates with the heart, relates with the gut brain, relates with our nervous system. That's what we call the mind. So he said, he defined manifestation as manifesting is defining an intention in such that it gets embedded in our subconscious. That manifestation is defining our intention in such a way that it gets embedded in our subconscious, which functions below the level of consciousness. Our manifesting, ability to manifest, is getting your intention to be embedded, to be impregnated onto your subconscious, so that it will be operating without you knowing. He said by trying to do that, you activate brain centers. There are some brain centers you activate. By doing so, we activate brain networks associated with goal orientation that make an intention important or silent. By the process that we are going to just look at, and that's what he called the secret, the real secret in the world. By the process that we're going to look at, maybe we're going to talk about, your brain, there's a place in your brain that notices what is important to you. It captures it. So in practice, this means that regardless of whether or not that intention is present on a conscious level, brain mechanism that remain focused on the goal are activated around the clock. Our intention now guides our life. When your intention is embedded, that intention now guides what you do without you knowing. By using our inner power to tap the vast resources of our brain, we gradually decrease the impact of external environment and begin living from our deepest intentions. So by understanding these things and by training yourself to know how to embed your intentions onto your mind or your brain, you will now remove the effects of the environment. It will now help you to get what you want. Remember, we're going to look at some certain things that are a little bit controversial, because in this definition he has given, he has stated things that are controversial, but because he did not bring it in all, he did not elaborate, he didn't use common language like God, Satan, or this thing. People didn't really capture it. Because what he's saying, in essence, is that he said that the universe owns you no fuck. There is nothing there. That the universe does not own you anything, which means there is no God, you think, that is doing these things for us. But we'll get there. So the first step, he said the first step, natural step for manifesting is, in fact, the first step in successfully manifesting is to separate yourself from the belief that there is an external force for solving your problem. That the first step is to remove that belief from you. You are told when you are a child, there's an angel that is following you. That is going to help you. There is a force somewhere. Yes. You know, why I got interested in this, there's something I wanted us to discuss today. But there's something that was posted in our WhatsApp platform where a woman was complaining that since she was married to a particular family, anybody who had died, they had always accused her of killing that person. And they will get her to, drink the water that is used to wash the dead body to see whether she will die. Even when her husband died, they accused her of killing her husband. And they believe that she has magical powers that she used to kill people. These things are all they are results of ignorance. And it is not her fault. It's not the fault of her community. It's not the fault of her family. It's the world, the way the world is going. Because we are just discovering how this thing works by the discoveries, developments that we have in technology that is helping us see the human brain as the human brain is working. Before, we didn't have that. So he said, if you want to lead a rich, meaningful, and prosperous life, you must have to appease. You do not have to appease any power beyond yourself. So you don't need to go and do that ritual, juju. Go to any shrine and do something. Say you don't need it. The only power you need to appease is yourself. And understanding what we are going to talk today. So you simply must believe that the source of your well-being and success is in nothing other than the power of your own mind. That power is already there. It's just for you to know how it works. That is what we're talking about today. So he said, the reality is that the same mind that creates the obstacles to the life you want is also the source of the intention that will make the life that you want real. The same mind that will give you riches, the same mind that will make you maybe be poor. That's what he's saying. And that is what he called the real secret. That is the real secret. So, manifestation is about cultivating a fierce belief in possibility. I just try to quote him. These are quotations from Dr. James Doty. Manifestation is about cultivating a fierce belief in possibility. You believe this will be possible. Anything you want, you will get it. When you understand what, you understand that there's nobody out there that is going to give you. And there's nothing out there. Nothing out there that is going to give you. That everything works through. Everything starts from your mind, mind, the powerhouse. It starts from the mind and ends the mind. It's like a loop. Sometimes when you're poor, you continue to be poor because it's a loop. And if you are rich, you're wealthy, you continue to be rich because you're a loop. Your mind, you have set up that loop. Your mind will always be searching for things that will make you rich. So, he said, for years I allowed environment to dictate the terms of my life. So for years that he allowed environment to dictate the terms of his life. And I didn't believe I could effect any meaningful change. He did not believe. So, I want us to know that this James Doty that we are quoting, it's just him that we have been looking, was born poor. Not only born poor, his father was an alcoholic. His mother had issues. And then he became a medical doctor. In a situation that in US, people from that type of background cannot become a medical doctor. Not only that he became a medical doctor, he became a world-class surgeon, became a billionaire, and has friends like he has friends like a Pope, he has friends like Dalai Lama. These are people that he works with. So he said, now, how the brain turns intention into reality. How? So that's where the powerhouse we need to understand. But why I include, definition that we gave the mind today is that the mind is the dialectical relationship, is the interrelationship between what? The heart, the brain, and our God's brain. There's something we call our gut, that is our intestine. The solar plexus, the intestines affect the solar plexus. The solar plexus consciousness. I want us to know that there's what they call the gut brain. The gut brain is what the microorganisms that we live with are part of our system. What they do, gut, GUT. The gut brain. So those microorganisms do in our intestines, they bring up some hormones, some neurotransmitters that they send to the brain that determine how we relate with people, how calm we are, how hot we are. These are things we need to know. Those are the things that determine how our mind functions. Now we are looking from the mind, we are taking the brain, how the brain turns intention into reality. But why I want us to look at it broadly like that is you will need to have a concept of what you want. You have your intention, but that intention too, you need to back it with some emotions. And some of the emotions, your heart and your gut brain has to come in. So significant development in imagining have revolutionized our ability to watch the brain transform on a cellular level. That is now, because of technology, we can see what the brain is doing, even on the cellular level. On a molecular level, you can see somebody is doing some work, like I'm talking. Some, machines are looking at my head, seeing what is happening, so that they'll be able to know. Before, we didn't have that capacity. So he said, now we can speak of manifestation in terms of cognitive neuroscience. You can speak on manifestation as a science because you know what is happening. And the function of large-scale brain networks. Because we have about 4 major networks in our brain. It's their relationship that help us to, get what we call the change of your brain. Because as your brain meets any encounter, any experience, it changes the brain. So you have to, that change in the brain is called the ability. So it is part of the brain's extraordinary ability to change. The ability of our brain to change, to respond to situations, is called what we call neuroplasticity. It's an inherent ability. Yeah, it's a brain to change. It's an inherent ability. It's like ability that the brain came with. The brain was born with. Yes, it's in us. The brain is born with it. So neuroplasticity is the umbrella term for the brain's ability to modify, change, and adapt both structure and function throughout life and in response to experience, as well as through repetition and intention. You know that your brain has that capacity. So this thing now, I want us to know it. When we know it, then anything we want, we know what we are doing, what we are supposed to do to get it. Not, outsourcing the help from outside. So we can, he said, by redirecting our attention, we can literally change our brains. By intentionally redirecting your attention, you can change your brain. We can change the gray matter of our brain, the area that will help us learn, help us perform, and allow us to manifest. So neuroplasticity is how we change our brains using intention and practice to manifest the reality we envision, the reality we're seeing. So manifesting is, you have to understand and know what manifesting is intentionally using maybe concepts, using thoughts, using images of life to change your brain. And how do you, when you keep focusing on it, it changes your brain, by embedding them on your subconscious. So, but he said we are all manifesting intentions in an untrained and informed way already, and the results are often hazard. So that what happens? Because this is an inherent power of our brain. So whether we like it or not, we are always manifesting. Your brain is always changing. You have friends where you discuss about how to drink and how you move around drink. You're changing your brain as you're doing it. You have friends where you always, what you do, you will complain about maybe the leadership of the country is not doing well. Your brain is changing towards it so that anytime your brain is itching, it's looking for friends like that so that you get that discussion because you have primed your brain like that. It's adapted to that. That's why when you check some WhatsApp platform, what they do, this government is not doing this, government is not. They don't even know they don't even know how to define the government and find themselves in the government and find what they can do to change it. And it's, when you do this, it changes your brain in such a way that it causes a loop. You know what a loop is? Something that starts and comes back from where it starts. It comes and starts over. So you continue to blame, outsource the source of your problem, and you continue to, you never find solution. So to manifest consciously, we must learn how to reclaim and direct the power of our attention and understand the physiological change mechanisms that allow us to direct that attention, as well as the obstacles and false beliefs that limit our power to do so. Do we understand what he's saying? So for you to manifest, for you to change your life, you must know these things. And you must know those things that are already stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. What are those? Those are concepts, beliefs, images, formed that you have formed already. We are going to maybe draw a little diagram. It's always good to draw a little diagram so that we can keep in our mind. For those of us who learn by seeing, have you? So he said that by that mechanism, when we constantly direct our attention to some things, our brain see those things are important to us. You understand it? Our brain see those things as important to us. And then we'll always be looking for ways to bring those things to us. Remember that we have already studied that all the activities of the world is happening and we are in contact with it. But it is this small part of our brain that is looking for what we need. The reticular activating system. Well, this is a neurosurgeon. He's a neurosurgeon. So what he's using higher terms, like he call this one attention network. Because the other one that looks for something that's important to you, call it the silent network. It calls the default mode network. So, but I think all of them are referring to reticular activating system. So you say your brain works by what they call value tagging. Because now you have primed your brain, you've made your brain to know these are the things it wants, it likes. It will always be looking for things like that, things that value, things like that. So that's why it's like a loop. It creates a loop. So you say value tagging is the brain's way of deciding what is significant enough to be imprinted at the deepest level of the subconscious mind. It's your brain that determining it. Because he knows that you always go look for where you want to drink. He always get you along with friends. Because most times I used to wonder, I'm always doing my business, always having time. But there is a shop near me where guys come to drink. You see that these guys, almost every morning, they come around 8 o'clock. And they'll be drinking till, I'm not asking, where do they get the money to make all these drinks? But you see that they come around there and their brain will look for people, friends who will always come around and give them one bottle or the other. And that's how life is. And life keep going on. And you keep thinking that, oh, this guy, what this guy is, and the guy is enjoying himself and moving. Because that's what his brain, he has conditioned his brain to, notice. And he's there and moving on. So, he said we conjure up when we practice visualization. When we practice visualization, we conjure up emotions, and these cue the selective attention system of the brain. There's a selective attention system. So when you visualize, to system to tag the goals you desire. When you visualize things, images, it cues the brain. It activates the selective attention. What do I say? Selective attention system to look for things that that are valuable and associate with what you are investing, so that you can have the reward of what you want. So if visualization works, and he said amazingly, it's been discovered that the brain does not know. The brain does not know when you visualize whether you have not done this thing before or not, whether you have not experienced it in person. You understand? So when you're visualizing, the brain is seeing it as something maybe you have done, and then it will. That's what makes visualization works. So once the goal is established in your subconscious mind, our brain works like what he called a bloodhound. Your brain begins to seek for opportunities to bring it about in reality, putting the full force of our conscious and subconscious mind behind the search. So that's it. These are just summary. It's like introduction of the book. I just want us, because when we understand these things, everything that we follow, we understand and follow, it will be easy for us to focus. You know that what you are trying to do, you will get it. It's possible. It helps you to build that belief, that possibility, beliefs of knowing that these things will happen, will work. So now, we have done a lot. I'm going to draw a little thing that help us to remind us and know, because we already. That's the holy game, or the whole the whole cha-cha. So, Pape, come and draw this thing for me. Okay, this is okay. Okay, this one.
Okay, that's anyone.
You don't have this. Just box, just. You can put
the human
mind.
Human mind.
The human mind plus maybe heart, the heart.
Senses.
Yeah, senses and our heart. Plus heart. You can put heart.
Okay, plus.
Or you can say.
Okay.
Know what to do?
Okay.
So let me see. Just write the human mind on top. The human mind. Then write brain. Brain.
Brain. Okay.
Heart.
Brain, heart.
Okay. Come on, heart. Heart.
Brain plus heart.
Brain plus heart. Maybe senses. Where we can have this other one. Then this one goes.
Which one is this one?
Just put an arrow. There's a universal laws now.
Okay.
Remember that it is the human mind that brought out what we call the universal laws. Nobody gave it us. The human mind, by practice, trial and error, saw that there are some principles, and he called them universal laws. So they are working, and the discovery keep increasing. So when the universal laws, when the human mind relates with the universal laws, it forms concepts. It can form concepts, forms, and images, or things. I mean,
Yes.
Those are things. And you can say and things because all of them are there. So say the universal laws are there. Or universal laws are just there. They're always operating. So as we relate with the universal laws, we have what? Concepts, we have forms, we have images, we have things. They have like values. So the values too can affect the human mind. That is why the thing went back.
Okay. What's
just the arrow went back to this place.
What's this one?
It's arrow. These objects now control.
Okay.
They can control the human mind. It's like a loop. It's like a loop. No, just let's go back here because there's another one here.
I want to take it. This is objects. What's all this?
These things are just like the same.
Oh. Okay.
Just what else? Okay, just so we don't waste time. It goes back. What we're saying is that like these are cars, objects like cars. They affect the human mind. They affect the human being too. They make life better. Planes, aeroplanes, all those computers, all those things. Computer houses, like that. Gone. Do you understand? Yeah. Gone. All these things, they are things that you created from with the mind, interacting with what the world is. You created these things, and they still control human mind because they can end human mind, they can enhance human mind, just like that. So this one now, the same thing, forms, concepts, concepts. And here, why I left this one, we can call this one abstraction, abstract things. You can write, no, it's coming back now. It's all coming back here. This thing, this arrow come here.
Yes.
Draw that thing. Right, God. Satan, yes. Angels, or the car again. There's part of the whole creation. Witches and wizards. Like that woman now, they call her witch and wizard. And who created witches and wizards? It's man that created witch and wizard. It's the man that created that form to describe certain things. He's not understanding. He thinks that maybe this person has some powers, negative powers. He called them what? Witches and wizards. So it's man that created them. So these things in turn, the arrow goes like this. It come and control man. Yes. And one of those things, I form images and concepts, concepts. So now, okay, you just got it. You got it. So I want us to see that man, everything started with man. The concept we have about the world is the concept of man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Man created everything we are seeing. The concept of God didn't come here to tell man that I'm God. Look at how I behave. It's man that created a concept to describe that, because he just came out, begin to be self-conscious, begin to say, for me to come here, for this one to happen, for the sun to rise, all these things, maybe there's somebody somewhere there who is doing it. So he created that person and called that person God. And when you create forms, most times, they control you. When you create abstract form, because these are abstract things that we created, they have powers, unlimited powers, and they control you. So when the guy is saying, that's what the guy was writing, Dr. Demtoti, writing, there's nothing out there. There's no force there that is getting you to achieve what you want. So when these things, the concept of God is created by man. The concept of God is created by man because man has that capacity to create concepts. They have capacity to create stories. You can add another one, stories. You can add stories here. He creates stories, that he will use to convey what he has in mind. So when he had created angels, he created God, and so maybe he thinks that God will not do everything. He now created Satan. But when you go into the universal laws, you will see that when you go deep into universal laws, you see the law of polarity or law of principles of gender. You see that already, any concept you have, any idea that comes in your mind exists in exists in pairs. So he created a Satan, created angels. You see things that it's not good to equate Satan with God. So angel Gabriel can stop the devil, the Satan. So witches and wizards, these are concepts of man, and that's why they don't have definite definitions. You cannot really describe how the witch looks different in Igbo land. In Yoruba land, it looks different. In Hausa land, in all those places, it looks different. So these are concepts, and we don't know. Man does not know, because we are already into it. We don't know how the concept of God come about, and we have not seen and found out that we think that people who wrote maybe like the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, all those spiritual books around the world, that they had contact with that God that they created, and they told them how to. There's nothing like that. That's what's been told. So when you understand these things, you now know that it's beyond. These concepts are created by man, and this concept, because is a loop now. You have created it, gave it powers, it will still be controlling you. So we are like in the loop. So those are the things. He said those false beliefs, you need to remove them for you to position yourself very well for manifestation of what you want. Because some of those false beliefs are the things that intervene in your daily activities. It affects you. I told you people about a lady that wanted a child, and she came to me. I spoke with her, I gave her affirmations or things to do. She did it and got pregnant and had a baby. So when she needed the second one, she came. But 2 days ago, she came down and sick. Her body was swollen from here up because she had a baby, about 4 months old baby. And you know her story, that somebody did something, that she had already gone to a juju man's place. They have told her certain things to do. Say, stop that. Don't create something and give people's power. Give entities powers. Create entities that does not exist. You're creating them and they'll control you. I tried to talk to her to dissuade her, but because she has made up that she kept believing in it. Yesterday, I called her several times. She didn't pick my phone. I had to even get her office and call her office. And then she was there in the office, said she was lying down. I said they should tell her boss to let her go back to her place so that they can take her to a hospital and take very good care of her. I didn't hear from them again. She didn't even call me. Later, I started calling. She didn't call again. What is holding her? What is making her is a concept she had created that witches and wizards are holding her. I said, I asked her, what are you struggling? What are you competing with the people? She cannot really say. You understand? So those are the things. When you create these things, they control your life. They are false creations. They are creations of the human mind. We need to know that. We need to know that these forms and this one from human mind, there's no place the creator or the beginning of life has come to tell us that's the way it is. All these things, the universal laws, are principles that by observation, by experiment that we extracted. We will have the universal laws have plenty. We have the law of gravity, for instance. It is people, by careful observation, that it was able to be written out. We have what we call the the weak forces, the electromagnetic forces, all those things. These are the things that human beings, by observation, by experiment, by training, by deductive and inductive reasoning, they were able to get at. So we need to understand that our mind, if you want to create these things, create them and put them in your mind. Any other thing will not work. Do you understand it? Any other thing is a limiting factor. It is limiting you. It's going to stop you from achieving anything you want to achieve. So I don't know whether we have any question. I mean, these ones are.
What you mentioned subconscious mind.
Yes.
What is the definition for subconscious mind? Whether it has a different one.
Yes, the subconscious mind is a part of the brain. The part of activities of the brain. We have like 3 layers of brain. We have what we call the frontal cortex. Our frontal cortex is where some of these things, the reasoning, where all these creations come from. The reasoning, our reasoning part, our intellectual part. Then we have the midbrain or limbic brain, and then we have the primal brain. The subconscious mind are the areas that automatic functions work of the brain. That is the part of the subconscious mind. It stores there. Last time we talked about frequency. We talked about frequency. Frequency is the rate of what? The rate of vibration. Or we call it the rate of vibration of consciousness. These things are consciousness. And what determines the level of consciousness is the rate of frequency. But let's leave that. Let us not expand what.
Just taught us that in the human mind, where the brain controls, able to prime our mind, things, stop those things that are right.
Well,
things that are wrong.
No, we don't talk about right and wrong. We didn't talk about right and wrong. We're talking about intention, what you want, your desire. So what is right to you may be wrong to me. So what we're talking about is the way to achieve it is to embed your intention, your desire onto your mind, onto your subconscious mind. That is the thing, that paying attention, using attention to achieve anything you want to achieve, that it happens in your brain.
But what it means is that whatever we want to achieve,
yes,
must stem from our mind, and then we use the mind to control ourselves and achieve it.
That's it. That's what I said. It starts from the mind, move around, and come back to the mind. That is, it's like a loop. There's no other thing. For us now, for this stage of our development, there is no other thing. So that's it. I think we have done for today. We have to